Well, welcome back to Movie Community College. We're going to continue looking at the Inhumans. We're going to start going through the royal family. I want to start with Black Bolt. As a kid, I used to really like him. I thought he looked cool, right? He makes his first appearance in Thor, I think it is. He is the head of the Inhumans. He is the head of the royal family. He is the king of the Inhumans. He got that position by battling the Unspoken. Raised in this culture, Dad was head of the Council of Genetics. Mom was subjected to the Terrigen Mist when she was an embryo. He's born out of this with some strange powers that surpass the average Inhuman's ability to understand. As an infant, he demonstrates a certain energy manipulative power that he couldn't control. And basically what has happened is when he speaks, he's able to decimate a city. So if he landed in your city and he started to talk, his voice cords vibrate at such a resonance that it begins to just disintegrate all matter around him. Right? Almost like he could speak it out of being. Kind of interesting. We see a little bit of that with Daisy in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as she's able to put her hands out and kind of vibrate these things and use her powers that way. He's placed in a soundproof chamber to protect everybody for this, and they begin to work on how can they train this kid, right? Because you know he comes from a family. It's a caste system. It's an important family, and you can't have him being like this. So what they do is they come up with this energy harnessing suit, and he is schooled on how to control his powers to the age of 19, when he was then allowed to enter society. Right, a month after getting his freedom, he discovered that his younger brother Maximus had made a pact with emissaries of the Kree. While attempting to stop the Kree ship before it escaped, Bolt used the power of his sonic voice to knock the ship out of the sky. When the ship crashed to Earth, it landed on the Parliament, killing several members of the Council of Genetics, including his parents. What a shocking thing to do. He intercedes, trying to save his people, to end this thing, and he ultimately ends up killing his parents. This will forever shape him. The reverberations of Bolt's shout affected Maximus' sanity and surpassed his mental powers. Despite his guilt and silent protest, Black Bolt was accepted the mantle of leadership at of the Inhumans at the age of 20 after he defeats the Unspoken One. Some things I think you should probably know, right, with Black Bolt. This is the character that Vin Diesel wants to play, and I think Vin Diesel would be a good choice for it because he kind of looks like him. Black Bolt doesn't talk, and I think it would be kind of interesting because you have Vin Diesel playing Groot, who we don't see but we hear his voice, and if he played Black Bolt, you would see him but not hear his voice. It's kind of this weird thing. Now, his powers and abilities. His physique surpasses the superhuman physique, a typical Inhuman's. His strength, stamina, durability, and reflexes are well above the typical Inhuman. Right? So that means he's going to be a lot stronger than humans are. His speed and agility are also enhanced. His brain speech center produces an unknown particle that interacts with electrons, enabling him to produce a certain mentally controlled phenomenon. So not only can he use his voice to devastate, but he's able to put people under a hypnotic spell that he's able to do, to mind control you. A lot of his power comes from his vocal cords, and when he says, he's able to trigger this blast, this speech blast, what they call the sonic scream, and it really is hinged on his emotional state. So if he is completely, stressed out and angry and furious, and this thing comes out, it's going to be intense. If he's not and he says something, it's not as intense, right? So that's an interesting idea of it. He's in Secret War storyline. He takes part in an incursion between Earth 616 and Earth 1610. He is taken out by the Children of Tomorrow, which is kind of interesting. He's also the one who drops the Terrigen bomb. He loses his power when he drops the Terrigen bomb, and Maximus helps him with that. I think it's going to be interesting as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of go through this Inhuman storyline, and I think what we'll find as we inch closer to an Inhumans movie, we'll start getting references to the royal family. Maybe we'll even get a little nugget thrown our way. Maybe there'll be, like, how Lady Sith showed up. Maybe we'll find one of the lower members of the royal family. I think the Inhumans are going to show up in the Infinity Wars, because in the comic book storyline, Black Bolt was held captive by Thanos and was using his powers to activate all the Illuminati antimatter bombs to destroy Earth, right? So he kidnaps him. He uses that sonic voice to kind of activate all these bombs, to find the bombs and be able to use them against everybody. So I think this is when the Inhumans will start. So we'll have a build up to Inhumans. We'll get through Civil War. We'll start Infinity Wars. You'll probably see in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. more of this stuff coming around of Inhumans and hinting at the royal family, and possibly getting their version of Lady Sith, somebody that we really don't really know anything about, to kind of come by and say, yes, I'm an Inhuman, here it is, just kind of like they did with the Asgardian bricklayer guy who's on Earth, and it's like, oh wow, yeah. So I think that's what we'll get. So thank you so much for listening. This is a lot of fun to do. I appreciate you listening. Check out our website, remnantxradio.com. Again, that is remnantxradio.com. And if you would, please be so kind, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to build towards 20 subscribers. I know. Dare to dream. Thank you again for listening.